Hi everyone, I am actually here. I was thinking of being on camera. Do you know what? They need taking down, that and that. They've been up there since I moved in. Yeah, I was going to be on camera, then I saw my reflection and basically my hair's tied back and I've got makeup on but I haven't got makeup on. Do you know when you put a tiny bit on, basically? I put on, if you watched my last Boots haul, I bought this Vichy mineral makeup foundation thing. It's not great. Basically it doesn't look like I've got any makeup on because it doesn't really put much on your skin. And just before I did my makeup, and I don't want to go into lots of explanations, for some reason I started to wash my makeup with sponges, and then I thought I might as well wash my brushes. So all my brushes and sponges that I could find, I think there's some eyeshadow brushes somewhere that I haven't done, they've all been washed. And I was like, oh, I was going to put makeup on. So then I was like, well, I've got makeup sponge, so at least I can put a foundation on. I mean, what I've put on, might as well not have even bothered. But and then I thought whatever else I do put on will have to be either with my fingers, or if it's got an applicator, with it, use the applicator. So yeah, my brows are darker than I have them because I normally do them and then I powder them and make them lighter, but I couldn't because obviously I don't have a brush. I used my finger to do shadow, and I've got mascara on. I've got blush, but it's a blush stick, do you know, where it's like a crayon, well, big chunky crayon, but I didn't really put much of that on, nothing else really. So yeah, so yesterday I did film a couple of videos to go up on here, and I actually thought one of them was up because I was like thinking, oh, what do I need to update on? What have I not said? And I thought, oh, what about such and such? And I was like, no, I've said that already. Yes, I have said it, but it's in a video that's not gone up because I deleted it. Not deleted it because I don't want anyone to see, just deleted it. Can't even remember why now. I think I deleted 2 by accident because I thought, oh, I've put those up. Haven't. So there should have been 2 up before the one that went up about 5:30 this morning. Can't remember what time it was. And I should have done one before now, but if you watch the last video, you'll know I was filming that at like 4:20. I was still awake at 6. Something woke me up around 10:20, but my dog was in my room, so I presumed it was my dog. And then I had about another hour's sleep, but you know when you fall asleep you wake up a lot and you fall back to sleep? It was one of those kind of hours. I'm tired. I've barely slept for 2 nights because of the police and what they've done. Like I said in the last video, don't make presumptions about me or anyone based on what you do and don't see. I'm good at acting like everything's okay, or good at avoiding things. I'm very open. If you meet me in real life, I'll tell you stuff that you don't even ask me. I'll just tell you because that's just me. But something has happened, not regarding the place, something quite major, and it's kind of shook me up and affected me. Yeah, I may have to actually leave the house at some point, which if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know I've not left the house for months, and I don't want to because I'm scared of going out. But sometimes you've got to do things no matter how much they scare you. I mean, I might not have to go out, but you know, in life things happen. Sometimes you have to do things, sometimes you don't. You never know what's going to happen. I did wake up with a migraine. As I said in other videos, I had a pounding headache from around the time the guy from the alarm company rang me, and it developed into a migraine, and I don't actually have any paracetamol that I can see. I mean, there could be some, and I could be completely missing them. So I have gone on to migraine relief today because it went from a bad headache to a migraine. And I've had the original dose, because you have 2 pink, and then if it carries on you have 2 yellow. And I've had the 2 yellow. Do you know what? I don't realise how I talk at times, but I do kind of shorten words. Like when I just said yellow, I said yellow. It's funny because all the time, people, until maybe the last year or so, would always ask me if I'm from Manchester because of my accent. And I'd be like, well, I lived in Manchester when I was a child, but I've lived here, well, not in this town, but up here, like 3 times longer than I lived in Manchester. So really, I shouldn't have a Manchester accent. And I thought my Manchester accent was kind of going because of me interacting with people locally more in the last couple of years than I've ever done. And yesterday, someone said to me in person, said to me, oh, have you moved up from Manchester? And I was like, no, I've lived up here the majority of my life. I lived in Manchester as a child. And they were like, oh, we're in Manchester. And I was like, oh, such and such, because there was a couple of places in Manchester I lived. And they went, I used to work in that town. But it's ironic because no one's really picked up on my accent in a long time, so I just presumed I had more of a local accent, but apparently people still think I'm from Manchester, which isn't a bad thing. I just thought I was picking more up with the local accent, but I guess I'm not. People, like, no one's mentioned my accent in a long time, but then again, I've not been out for a long time, and every now and then people would be like, are you from Manchester? And I'd be like, well, I lived in Manchester, but as a child. So I remember when I first moved back up here, one of my brothers was still like part in Manchester, part up here, and he came to pick me up from school when I was about 12 or whatever age I was, and he's like, why have you still got the Manchester accent? I don't think he'd seen me for a little while, and I'm like, I don't know. It's like, you've not got rid of the accent. And I'm there like I don't know. I guess if you live in Manchester as a child, you keep the accent. I don't know. But you would think, and I would think by this point, I would have an accent that is local. So, there you go. Anyway, I've not come on here to talk about accents. So basically, still not heard from the police. My solicitor knows everything, and I have instructed my solicitor and asked him to start doing things, because ideally I don't want to deal with the police. They're causing me a lot of distress as it is, and they won't mess him around because he knows the law. So that's one update. The second update is, and I'm quite happy about this, and when I came on and originally filmed yesterday, and the video hasn't gone up because I thought it had, but there you go, I do have a little bit of good news, and I can't believe this, to be honest. So if you know, or if you've watched these videos this last few days, I mentioned Maggie Oliver, and I've mentioned her in the past because in the past I wanted to talk to her and I didn't know how to go about getting in contact with her. Basically, don't ask me how because I won't tell you how. I have got Maggie Oliver's direct email address, not illegally, by the way, and I'm going to see if she'll help me. Obviously, she used to work for the police, she knows exactly what they're like, and I think she'll be quite shocked about my involvement and how treated me for the last 4 years. And I realised pretty soon on into writing the email that I had to go into a lot of detail. I couldn't just tell her the conclusion of what's happened, because how would she know how we arrived at the conclusion? She needs to know the whole story. So I started to write about how the police first got brought into my life by someone else interfering. And I'm not joking, it took me about 3 hours to write that part. And then I was like thinking, I can't go into detail with everything after that point. So I'm bullet pointing it with a little sentence for each thing, basically. But there's no point telling someone part of a story. They need to know as much as you can. So I'm hoping she'll help me. What I have told her and what I will tell her is definitely along the sort of lines that she deals with and helps people with. So yeah, I'm quite relieved that I got a contact for her, and I'm going to try and get as much help as I can with this now, because it's at the point where serious things are being ignored and I've actually not done anything wrong to deserve this horrific treatment. Anyone would think I'd murdered half the police station the way I get treated. That's literally how I get treated. Done nothing wrong, don't have a criminal record, yet they seem to have some kind of vendetta against me. That's how it feels, and that's how it looks to people when they find out what's happened. And I'm not telling them it as a one-sided thing. I'm telling it from both points of view. You know, I'm very fair like that. Unlike the police, they won't be fair about it. They would just slander me and then make themselves sound amazing. I don't. If I look bad, I look bad. I'm open and honest. I don't sugarcoat anything. So I am getting as much help as I can. I'm telling as many people who want to know. I'm not keeping quiet. And if I have to tell the entire world, I will do, because they have a duty of care to everyone but apparently me. So anyone would think I'd done something seriously wrong. In fact, people who have done some stuff seriously wrong still get treated with respect and still get treated like everyone else. So those who know me know I haven't done anything, and I'm not capable of doing anything that the police might suggest I have done. As soon as they've got no evidence and I don't have a criminal record, the justification for the way they're treating me, well, there just isn't a justification, is there? So that's my little update. I don't really have too much else to say. My head's killing me. My heart's still pounding. So if I have a heart attack, you know who to blame. No contact from the police, nothing. They know I'm trying to get hold of them. So this is typically what happens. They ignore me. I could be being murdered right in the reception of the police station. They wouldn't even bat an eyelid. So that's kind of my little update. It's too hot. Yeah, it's too hot. I've not eaten today. I've had like a protein type milkshake thing, but I've not had any food. And that is all I'm gonna say. I'll do updates. I'm pretty sure if they upset me, I'll probably do a really upset update and give away a lot of stuff. Because when I'm upset, that's when I'm more likely to tell you a lot of things. So stay tuned. Hope everyone's okay. Hope you're all coping with the heat, because, God, I wish I had aircon. I'd have it on so bloody cold. Because the fans aren't cutting it. I wish I could get one of those Dyson fans. Knowing my luck, I'd buy the Dyson fan and then the weather would be rubbish. That would be typical. Anyway, I'm going to get this uploaded and get it up in about an hour's time. So this is the latest instalment. Still completely being ignored by the police. They know I want to speak to them, but there you go.